Attention all Tuscarawas County liquor permit holders. The Ohio Investigative Unit has created a new online alcohol server knowledge training program. The program is designed to educate people involved in the sale and handling of alcohol on the rules and regulations that govern liquor permits, with emphasis on not over-serving patrons and keeping alcohol out of the hands of young people. Would you recommend the new virtual alcohol server knowledge training to other servers?
Oh, I absolutely would. It was very informational, very to the point. It gave you exactly what you needed, and the information was amazing. I mean, it covered things that I didn't even know I needed to be aware of.
Have you participated in other alcohol server knowledge trainings or tip training programs in the past?
Yes, I have.
And did you find this is effective?
I actually found it very effective. A little bit more effective because I feel like it really pertains to the bartender, server, and like establishment aspect of it, which was very informational to me since I am a bartender.
How about the difference between online versus in person?
I like the online training. I feel like with all of the examples and scenarios that it gave you in the training, it actually was pretty hands-on. I rate this one pretty high. It was very user-friendly. It gave you all of the information that you needed. The scenarios and the examples that it gave you were just very hands-on, so I really enjoyed that about it. I liked how hands-on it was.
So it wasn't just education for education's sake. It was videos and scenarios.
Yeah, videos, scenarios. They were giving you questions like, would you do this or this? And then instant. It was interactive. You know, you actually got to learn something and then put it to use in a little scenario. So that was nice.
Did this training provide information, education, enhance your skills, you and your staff, to really protect servers, bartenders, your establishment, the community at large?
Yes, this training definitely provided education for my staff and others, especially to be aware of what we are accountable for our customers and for our community, and to make sure that everyone stays safe.
What did you like about the training?
What I specifically liked about this training is how it really focused on Ohio's laws and regulations and the issues that go on with Ohio. I liked that we were just specifically focusing on that because all states have different regulations and protocols and procedures, and it was nice to just focus on ours and understand ours.
So other trainings that you've taken in the past were much more global?
Yeah, it kind of just pushes all of the states together, which gets a little confusing because everybody has different protocols, and it gets a little overwhelming sometimes.
Did you feel this training will improve your ability to identify when an individual should not be served anymore due to their intoxication level?
I do believe that it did help my ability to identify. It showed me lots of scenarios of what you should be paying attention to your customers. It also kind of gives you a timeline as well. Like if you come in at a certain time and you serve someone your first drink, you have the knowledge of knowing that if they're only going to be there for 2 more hours and you serve them probably 2 more drinks in that time span, you are going to know whether or not you should make that decision. Or if you hop on and somebody was already there for hours, you're going to know when you get behind that bar and they come up to you, you're going to recognize that they've already had enough, they've already been there long enough.
Is it something that you and the other servers had conversations around after you?
We have, actually. Okay. We had a specific scenario like a week before I did this test where we were wondering if somebody had already come in intoxicated, and we weren't really too sure. So as soon as I did this test, I was like, these are the things that we were taught, the eyes, the stumbling, the wordage. So like, for instance, when this person came in, we thought that they were a little stumbly, but we weren't really too sure. And I was like, next time we can look at the glaze in their eyes, just have a quick conversation with them before we do decide to serve them. Just other little things other than like, well, maybe he stumbled on in because he's clumsy, or maybe he stumbled on in because he was already drunk and shouldn't have been here. So it was nice to have more information on what to check for.
Is this a training you feel would be helpful each year, just as a quick refresher, reminder?
Absolutely, and I think since it's like it's not that long, but it gives you all of the information that you need, there is no reason why you shouldn't do it yearly. And it's nice to refresh on those things. Like there's certain things that I took from it that I know that I'll remember, but there's probably other things that maybe I didn't, think were that important at the moment, that next year I'm gonna watch and be like, oh yes, yeah. Happy I refreshed on that one.
Do you feel that this training made you more aware of tracebacks and how establishments and servers are held accountable here in Ohio?
Absolutely, because there are some things that I learned that I was not fully aware of. I think us as bartenders and servers, we're not aware of the job that we actually have when it comes to serving a patron. We are responsible for every action that they make when they are in there and when they leave there. That is our responsibility. I think that's something that a lot of bartenders and servers aren't really aware of. I think that you're just there to kind of just pour, you know, serve them some things, but you have a lot bigger role to play in that person, especially when they're in your establishment.
Do you feel this training strengthened your ability or attention to checking IDs?
Yes, I do, especially with these new IDs coming around. It, you know, kind of laid it out for you exactly what you're supposed to look for. It even showed you what military IDs look like. It showed you how to look at passports. I think that that was very educational because most of us are just used to getting an ID, looking at the birth, giving it away. When a military person comes in, you gotta flip that bad boy on the back.
What were some added benefits you had from the training? Maybe topics that you didn't expect to be in there?
The human trafficking and sex trafficking one was actually something that I didn't even know I needed information on, really. I knew that it was a problem, you know, in Ohio, but I didn't really know anything more about it. This gave me a lot of key things to look at, signs, be aware of things. It also taught me what I can do if I do see those signs, and if I am concerned about something, you know, what should I do? Gave me.
So what can you do?
You can dial #677 and you can report anything that you have witnessed or that you feel uncomfortable by. Also, I think with how close our community is, you know, we put that stuff out there all the time, like on social media and stuff. There's a whole Facebook page for like Dover and New Philly and Bolivar. If you see something that you don't really think is right, you just put that information out there.
Anything else that was the added benefit of the training?
Honestly, learning about the traceback, that was very interesting to me. I knew that the establishment and the bartender were somewhat responsible for if, you know, your patron leaves the establishment and does something, you know, awful, that you are somewhat responsible, but I didn't realize that it was as severe as it could be.
Great.
It also reminds you that you have a bigger responsibility than you think you do.
If you're a Tuscarawas County alcohol permit holder, meaning a bar, a drive-through, a convenience store, a retail store, a brewery, we would really encourage you to check out the Alcohol Server Knowledge Training. It's easy to access. It will provide great information for your servers, for your clerks. It will provide protection for your establishment, your workers, and the community at large. We would really like you to take advantage of this great opportunity. Please go to learning.dps.ohio.gov/ask.